What's up, Terabytes? I'm Tara with Tara Simon Studios, and today I'm gonna take it back a little bit. I'm gonna be reacting to Creed, Arms Wide Open, and I'm gonna tell you some fun facts as I get into the video and things that you may not have known about me and my experience with Creed.
With arms wide open.
Legendary. This is a live performance, which I love so much. This is 2009, y'all. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but fun fact, Creed is actually a Christian band, yet so plays rides this line so nicely of what real great, amazing mainstream music should sound like, with great lyrics, great musicality, great vocals, but also an amazing message, my love language. And his voice is so unique. Woo.
Seems like life is gonna change. I close my eyes, begin to pray.
There's a little heaviness in his voice, right? It's very characteristic of him.
Stream down my face with arms wide open.
Open. Okay, part of what makes certain singers sound so unique is sometimes the affected way that they sing. And I don't mean affected like, oh, they have to sing this way and they couldn't sing any other way. Affected meaning like, it's just sort of the way that they do it without trying to, and it's a little bit of a deviation from the norm. Like obviously most of us, when we sing with arms wide, how would you sing it? You'd sing open, and there's an E-N to it because, well, that's how it's spelled, O-P-E-N. But when he sings it, when Scott sings it, it's open, O-P-A-H-N, I guess, right? Open. And yet, I think if a vocal coach were teaching him and they told him, sing it open, they would be doing a humongous disservice to him, and they would be wrong. They would be remiss and wrong. Just because you sing it different doesn't make it wrong, as long as it doesn't hurt your voice, as long as it's not so affected that it affects your actual singing capabilities. This is just artistry. This is just uniqueness. And so I'm saying this and making a point of it because I want to give you all as singers the freedom out there to realize and understand, like, if you have something that's unique and it may even be a little strange or weird, well, that's literally what's celebrated in the music industry. So like maybe lean into that. And if it doesn't hurt you, and if it's well received, or even just like semi well received, then that might be part of what makes you and your unique sound something special. It's a little under on place. Okay, so I will say that there's also a dichotomy. So in heavy singing, like there's this back of the tongue kind of raise that he's doing to create the sound, by the way. So instead of with arms wide open, to make it sound like him, I gotta go with arms wide open. I am manipulating my sound by thickening and moving the back part of the muscle of my tongue to raise and kind of widen so that when the air passes, it has a bigger hump to go over, right? Instead of a flat, just pathway throughout the mouth, it has this hump to go over, and that is what changes the sound. You can also hear this in singers like Cher. You can hear this in singers like Shakira. They are using that same back of the tongue mechanism to change their sound. Now, I'm not saying they're doing it intentionally. It could be just the way they've always sung. But in order to make your voice, yours, if it doesn't naturally sound like this, sound like theirs or affected, that's the mechanism that you manipulate in order to achieve that. Now, because his sound is deep and thick, it can air on the flat side. Like I know in studio recording, you're not gonna hear that, they're gonna tune that. But in live performances is where it can get you. And I don't know where he is in his set right now, but there is some pitchiness in the flat side of it. So he's not airing on the sharp side above the center of the note. If this is the center of the note, he's not airing here. He's airing under every time he's off pitch, which is indicative of a heavier, thicker, fuller, more robust type of voice. And that's okay, it's just something to note. I mean, no one's gonna be on pitch in any live show 100% of the time. I think his delivery is amazing right now, but I just want you to know what I'm hearing. Okay. Very, very changed. Little deviation from the original melody there.
I'll take them by my side. Standing on.
Love his face there. Okay, now something very interesting. Again, yeah, like kind of flat and pitchier throughout that section, and I do like how he amended and changed the melodic line of some of those things, made them more conversational to give his voice a little bit of a break. But when he went to Life, he did something very interesting. He changed the heaviness a little bit, and instead of life, he went to more of an I there. He actually did more of an E. Life, and it pushed the sound forward, and it allowed it to be a little less heavy, and he was perfectly on pitch there. So if I was his vocal coach during this time, which, oh my gosh, I mean, I couldn't have been, I was literally in high school, but if I was his vocal coach during this time, I would have had him do a little bit more of that more often, because it would have raised the heaviness off just a little bit, and also in turn raise the pitch. It's kind of like that saying, a rising tide raises all boats. Well, a more forward placed vowel also raises all pitches. Woo! Sunlight, nice and open wide there. Amazing guitar, you hear that? Oh. Bang. Old Pond, so Hallmark Scott. That was so well placed. Oh Pond, it's so cool. It's literally like what I wait for in this song. Every time he sings it, I'm like, yes. See what he did there? Okay, when he did show you everything, he did this kind of like tightened upper lip thing. Let's go back and watch that real quick so you see. See his mouth right there? They go away from the camera, but you see it real quick. This in classical music is called covering. Okay, and what covering does in classical music is when you take the top of the lip and you cover it over the front teeth, the top front teeth, it creates a more tonal, more locked in sound. So it keeps you from being breathy on notes that are a little lower in your range in classical music, where that's kind of like a no-no. However, I'm sure he's not meaning to do this because of that, but in this genre of music, when you cover, it locks the pitch into place because everything is much more still. You have a lot more tension in the lip, and so there's a much more clear and aligned direction for the air to leave your mouth. So the pitch is like literally forced to go in one place. So it's a very safe, very locked in feeling, and it actually, while you're singing this note, kind of gives your mind and your voice a quick little vocal break, because it's not the bandwidth of thinking or keeping the sound on pitch on a long hold isn't there. It's sort of like the lip is doing the work for you there. And I don't know if he meant to do that there, but that was a smart move. Well played, Scott, well played. Oh yeah. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the story. Not quite just yet, but I am gonna tell you my little Creed story in a minute here. Let's do the rant. Ooh. Gee, I love how he sings his hard vowels. Yes, he's really into it now. His pitch is really centering too. The world, nice open vowel there. Can we talk about how he's sweating his shirt needs to? Okay. I'm a woman, what do you expect? I'm blind. Sorry. Woo! Love, I love his fall off there. Okay, quick story time. I can't hold it any longer. So the reason that I started to fall in love with rock, actually, when I was younger, is because of Creed. And here's why. When I was in high school, yes, I'm gonna age myself and I don't even care. I had a Walkman and little headphones, you know, like the wired ones that plugged into the thing. And I had CDs, you know, like the things that are around that you had to like put in the player. And one of my very first CDs was a Creed CD. I don't know who gave it to me. I think it was someone in my youth group. And I remember so distinctly, I had never heard this type of music before. I was on the bus going to school and I sat in the very back of the bus and I remember popping in this CD. I have no idea what I'm about to listen to because it was a gift, it was given to me. And I remember this being the first song that I heard. And I remember something waking up when I heard the guitar and all of the instruments just come in hard on the chorus with Arms Wide Open, and hearing the uniqueness of the artistry of his voice, of Scott's voice. I got goosebumps all over and I was like, this is what it's like to make art sound like something and be unique as an artist, like have a totally different voice and own that and lean into it and have some like guts behind it. Because up until that point, I'd pretty much only been exposed to like Christian worship music. And then this came in with like legs and teeth and muscles and like bigness, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm in love with the writing of this, I'm in love with the sound of this, with the emotional commitment and the grit of this. And because of Creed, because of this song, actually I started to write a lot of music. Like that was the moment where I was like, I need to write music like this. Music may not be rock music, but I need to write music that is like amazing in its message, but also sonically undeniably good. Like, so thank you, Scott. Thank you, Creed, for inspiring a high school kid on the bus when her legs were sticking to the seats in the Florida heat, listening to her Walkman with her headphones on, because it was like this humongous experience just in the back of a bus. And that's the beauty of music, guys. That's why when you're designed to do it, you do it whether or not you think it's gonna make money or people are gonna hear it or whatever, because when you breathe it out, you just don't know who you're impacting. And it had such a huge impact on me. And years later, not gonna tell you how many years later, I am reacting to this, and I'm actually, it was amazing full circle moment. Like a month or two ago, Scott like followed my Instagram and he liked some of my stuff, and I was like, what is life? Like, what is happening right now? So Scott, if you're watching this, I want to collab with you. I want to make this full circle moment. I would love to sing any of your songs, or even, my gosh, write one with you. I think that you're amazing, and this whole franchise that you guys created was so impactful and still is today. And so thank you for being bold and just for being a complete baddie in your artistry. It's such amazing work. And the crowds agree with me.
Come on, sing it with me.
Freestyling, yeah, asking the audience to participate. Count them in.
With arms wide open.
Oh my gosh.
With arms wide open.
Like do they not understand they're supposed to be singing? Call and response, guys, come on. With arms wide open. With arms wide. There you go.
Beautiful, come on.
There you go.
Let them hear you sing wide open.
Oh, that's just so cool. It's every artist's dream to experience this. It's why you do what you do, to connect, to impact, to make a difference, to be heard, right? Everybody deserves to be heard.
Beautiful.
Yes! Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I have to just say, as a vocal coach, did you notice something about the way he sang the end of it? Bonus, if you put it in the comments before I play it back. Here we go. What did he do differently? The whole time he sang open, but what did he do? Open. So I don't know what that's all about. Scott, you got to explain it to me. Why at the very, very end did you change the way you sang open to open at the very last one? It's one thing that I noticed even on the back of that bus when I was listening, and something I still don't know to this day. Inquiring minds want to know. Did you mean to? is it like a hidden meaning or something? Like, I gotta know. Why open the whole song and then at the very end, open? I'm here for it. I think it's definitely an attention grabber, but it's definitely different. So help a girl out. If you want to keep going down this little rabbit hole of rock and amazing music, then check out this video next because YouTube thinks you're gonna like it, and I do too.